Welcome back. It's Justin Westmoreland again. We're going to be starting season 2 of the Fully Alive podcast. And so you're going to be able to watch it on video, stream on your devices. Today we're going to have an episode called Stop Losing Weight, Start Gaining Life. Hit the music. This is Justin Westmoreland, and you're listening to the Fully Alive podcast, where we integrate physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual relational health so that we can become a fully alive community together. Well, hey, we're glad to be back with you. It's Justin Westmoreland again. Stevie's working behind the camera, producing this. Thanks so much. I feel like, Stevie, we've made it longer than 98% of podcasts. We have a season 2. Season 2, that is amazing. And so we're thankful for all those who've watched it online and listened to it on your devices. It's an honor. It's an honor and privilege that you spend the time with us. So let me just recap. If this is your first time diving into one of these podcasts, and we hope that some of you are first-time listeners, you need to know, what is this? Where do we come from? And so my name is Justin. My story is this. I am now 40 years old, and it is 2019. And back in 2015, I experienced a health transformation, if you will. I lost almost 50 pounds in 12 weeks, lost a lot of body fat, had a total recomposition in my body, was in great shape after this, got really interested in working out in the gym. And so the impetus for me to lose this weight and get in shape was really working with a personal trainer 2 days a week and doing all that this trainer told me to do the other 4 days of the week and resting one day. So through that commitment, and also logging my calories for the first time in my life and seeing exactly what it was that I put into my body and how and what that cost and all that. I mean, I've read a story today about how you could be a chess player, chess master, and lose weight, depending on what you're eating, what you're doing. As you're sitting at your desk playing chess all day, you can lose weight. It's really, how many calories am I consuming, or how many are you consuming? So you think about the calorie intake. For the first time, I got educated on that, and then I started to see my health improve, and I started taking other people along with me, either preaching about how easy it was, showing and demonstrating that. And after all this success in helping other people, people started asking me, hey, why don't you do a podcast or something like that to get the word out there. And I thought it was a good idea because it gets the same things I'm talking about all the time with people as a canon or a resource that we can always point back to and say, hey, go download this or listen to this. So as we are moving along through this journey together, I want you to know that all these other episodes are out there. We're on season 2 now, and you can look at them on the side of the screen or underneath. And be aware that you're not alone in this. We have access to us. You can get us emailing us in the link below, commenting always, and asking questions. And we want to be able to be a resource for you to get healthy, to be fully alive. So that's our theme, is being fully alive. So the theme today is to stop losing weight. Okay, everyone wants to lose weight. Stop losing weight. It's not about losing something. What you really want is to gain something. You really want to capture a treasure in your life. You want to have life. And so thinking about, who wants to just take things away, like losing things? So I want to give you not just the gift of loss, but I want to give you the gift of gaining something. I want you to gain life. In this community. So gaining life rather than losing weight or losing inches. I think it's a helpful way to think about it, because what I really received back in 2015 was just not that I weighed less. The number on the scale was much different, but that I could say that I'm in the best health of my life, and all that the ripple effects that caused in everything in my life. So whether it's my faith, my fitness, my family, or my future, things are much more going along swimmingly with the health that I experienced there and a physical transformation. But that wasn't the beginning of the story, certainly. What leads someone to go out and conquer these goals, or sign up for personal training and stick to it, or start to lose weight, or to gain health? What is it that really drives someone to do this? And there's something else, spurring that on. There's some intrinsic motivation. And for me, that was ultimately faith. My faith in God, led me to believe that this was possible. And so let me just walk you back to something I think is hugely important if you're thinking about your physical fitness, your mental fitness, your spiritual fitness. A lot of it goes back to how you your story. How do you relate to people relationally? Well, your story has a huge part of that. And so one fun story I wanted to share with you guys is when I was 6 years old. When you're 6 years old and back in 1985, life was different. When you're a kid, you're a little boy in Texas, you go out and you play outside in dirt piles and you ride your bike all over town. Maybe that's not the way it is for you now, but that's what it was for us. And so we would get out there and just a bunch of boys on our street, we'd play in the dirt. And so one of the things we would do is we'd collect action figures, and we'd do action figure play. So one of them is, that we were all into at the time was G.I. Joe. And G.I. Joe was super awesome. You had the Cobras, which are the bad guys, and the G.I. Joes are the good guys. And so we would go out and get all the action figures, pull them together, and we'd act out the cartoons. It's a lot of fun, and have a great time doing it. Well, one of my favorite characters from the cartoon that I actually got the action figure for was a guy named Quick Kick, and he looked a lot like Bruce Lee. Sort of. He was the karate guy on the G.I. Joe side. He was a good guy, but he was known for, of course, kicking people in the face. Kind of the Chuck Norris, if you will, of the show. Really a fascinating character as I remember it. So I got the Quick Kick action figure. Super proud of this thing. Well, lo and behold, it didn't have that long, and then two older kids, showed up one day on our street. And that was the last I saw of the Quick Kick character, the action figure. He was gone. I'm like, what happened to the Quick Kick character? I mean, the action figure. It was gone. As far as I can understand, I don't want to impute anything to anybody here. I don't know these guys. I think they stole it. I think they took my Quick Kick. And I have never seen the Quick Kick since I was 6 years old. So we're talking 34 years here. Somehow, some way, I remember that story of two random kids I didn't know showing up on the street, taking the Quick Kick away, and they didn't just take away the Quick Kick. They gave me a kick to the gut here. I'd lost my action figure that I loved, and so I think that when you're thinking about what is the motivation, what's the intrinsic motivation for me or for you or for anybody, is that you and I, we want to avoid loss. We don't like to lose things. We don't want to lose, things that we love and we value, and so when you start to run into that life, that's a small one for me. It's losing this action figure, Quick Kick, but I can still remember it. Emotionally, that was just a huge kick in the gut, a huge wound for me, a huge loss as a 6-year-old. And so as you grow older, the weight of the losses will pile up and be exponentially more when you lose things sometimes. And so I think a lot of our life is simply seeking to avoid loss. And I think when you're thinking about, do you want to make a change health-wise? Do you want to start to gain health? You might start to lose. You might start to talk yourself out of it because of the fear of losing, not being able to do it. And you're thinking about, and that sort of world of trying to live and improve and not being able to do it because you're afraid, or you think, well, it's not possible. It certainly is possible, but the idea of losing and loss really does drive us to give up before we even get started. And so whether you're seeking to lose weight or get in shape, what you really want to do is add life so you can have an integrated approach to your faith, your fitness, your family, and your future, so you can be in the best shape of your life. And so as a 6-year-old or a 40-year-old or a 60-year-old, it's not too late to decide to get on that on that journey towards the best shape. And so in my story back in 2015, I was able to see some great work for me, some great improvements for me. But a few years later, in 2017, I became a certified personal trainer. And so I started working with clients. After a few months of that, I decided, hey, I want to get a certification to become a functional movement specialist. Now, a functional movement specialist is something I'm passionate about because I feel like a lot of guys get in the gym and are working out, but they don't have a goal. And so this functional movement really does take, whether it's performance in sports, or do you want to be able to jump higher, to spike a volleyball, or to something else in life that you're trying to overcome an injury. We want as a functional movement specialist, you want to be able to take the 3 or 4 hours you're in the gym every week and then really make that impact the other 160 or so hours of your life each week. What is it you're doing in the gym, and how does that relate to regular life stuff? So you're working out with a purpose there in the functional movement thing. So this summer, I get my second specialization, and it's called the nutrition specialist certification. So now I'm a personal trainer, I'm a functional movement specialist, and now I'm a nutrition specialist too. So as we're going to look at this season and what we're going to be doing this year, we want to gain health and gain life, not just start losing weight for no reason, but have a purpose. And we're going to think about what is the why for why we want to lose weight. Is it when you want to work out with your kids, or be able to play with your kids more? Is it for a job? Is there some purpose where you can serve others to be able to give them life? What is the why, and then how are we going to get there? And so particularly I want to show you some functional movement stuff that I've picked up over the last several years with clients and in my own training, and some nutritional hacks as well. And of course we're going to be talking about the scriptures. So those are the few things we're going to be looking at. We'll cut to the break right now and we'll come back to it. All right, so let's get to the fun part. Now, this season we're going to have some cooking demonstrations, some shopping demonstrations. We're going to go to Walmart and I'm going to show you all my tricks and all my tips. I love it. And Steve's going to go to the gym with me, and we are going to show you some techniques to get the most bang for your buck on the gym. And I might even show you some of my clients doing some training. I am excited about the possibilities ahead of us this series or this season. So please follow up with us. So a couple things here. I lost my action figure. We lose. We're afraid we're going to keep losing. But if we don't have the resiliency to give it a shot here, and we don't have any positive reinforcement, we're going to just keep on giving up. And so one way, whether if you don't have the belief in God's providence yet, I know you will, but you're going to get it eventually. And God, there's no accidents to where you are in your life. I mean, God is governing all things. We know that to be true. And so, this is the moment for you, realizing that all these forces are conspiring together. Hey, you're listening to this for a reason. There's no accident that you are listening to this. Of all the million podcasts and all the million things you could be doing with your life right now, you're listening to this because God has a plan for you to be fully alive, and to gain life rather than just losing weight. So we're going to go on a journey here. I want to give you 2 challenges right now, and I want you to stick to these things. And as you stick to them, there will be some positive changes that will occur. When you stick with one of these habits for 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to notice some differences, and that's going to give you more encouragement to keep on going. But you have to keep submitting to the challenge, setting the goal, and then doing what you got to take to get there. So I want 2 things. First is you got to have, instead of just saying, hey, I'm going to lose weight, you got to have a positive goal, something you can add to your life to add value versus just taking things away. You want to fill up the jar rather than just taking things away. So I want you to think about, not in terms of I need to lose weight, but what I need to add. So maybe that's a gym membership where you're going, if you're not going at all, go 2 times a week. Say, hey, that's something you can control. 2 things a week. You can make your schedule work to 2 days a week. and that's going to give you a lot of benefit. Maybe if you're going 2 or 3 times a week, maybe shoot to 3 or 4. Put some kind of goal that makes sense for you. Or maybe it's getting some kind of equipment that you can use at home. And I'm going to be showing you some of the things that I use. I have quite an arsenal of equipment now that I use at home when I can't make it to the gym or need to get a workout at home. So I want to show you some of the tricks there too. One thing is that you can't just talk just about fitness and exercise without talking about eating. And so I would challenge you to think about one of your first positive goal, something you can change, is some kind of eating goal. Now, for me, I've been eating the same smoothie since October of 2016, every day of the week almost. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't, eat this smoothie is if I'm traveling and I can't get it, or if I run out of the ingredients, unfortunately, and then I maybe can get it later. But I eat the same thing every day, and it works. It's something. It's just like making your bed in the morning. It's a habit you get into, just like brushing your teeth. If you get in this habit with good stuff packed into your smoothie, or whatever the eating is that you want to do, that's going to give you some wind in your sails to be able to accomplish other things. And you're going to feel better if you're putting good nutrition and good fuel in, so you can tackle your workout. You tackle your work, you can treat your family a lot better, and ultimately love God more. That's my challenge to you, is to take an integrated approach to health, where your faith and your fitness and your family and your future is all going to be connected together, an integrated view. Okay, you can't just work on your abs, try to crunch your abs away without looking at how you're relating to and the core of all that you are with everything else. Okay, so thinking about the first thing you need to be doing this season is working on one simple positive goal, something you want to add to your life, whether it's a fitness in the gym kind of goal. Maybe you want to think about the time or the days you work out, or something you're eating, something you're going to add and incorporate into your goals. If you have questions on nutritionary guidelines and best practices on nutrition, let me know. And I will get with you on that stuff and consult with you happily on that stuff, on that kind of thing. I didn't know what I was doing when I first started, and I've learned a lot over the last few years. Okay, next and finally, you got to have your BHAG, or your big, hairy, audacious goal. So when you're adding these positive changes, when you're adding something, and you're building towards something else. You're not just laying bricks; you're building a cathedral. Now, you got to think about that, because laying bricks is monotonous and not any fun. So just thinking about every day, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to drink this smoothie. Well, you got to have some kind of bigger vision. So what's your BHAG? What is it you're going to do? What's your big, hairy, audacious goal? Is it you're going to dunk a basketball? Is it you're going to lose 50 pounds this year? Is it you're going to run a half marathon? What is it for you that you think, well, maybe you're going to join a bowling league, and you got to have some kind of reason why you're doing what you're doing to get there. Maybe whatever it is, you got to have a big, hairy, audacious goal, something that's going to keep you going and driving you, something you can write down on this day and say, this is what we're going to do on this day, 3 months down the road, 5 months down the road, and then challenge yourself to get to that goal. If you don't write it down, you're probably not going to do it. And I know that to be true for me. So your first thing to do, get a journal, write down your goal you're going to do every day, and then write down where you're going with that. And hopefully you and I can see some good success in this. So in the comments below, I want you to tell us, hey, what do you want to see? We're not going to be doing a series this year, but we're going to be doing kind of standalone episodes dealing with different questions that come up, different ideas, different philosophies of training, different tutorials on how to do something. And so they're going to be a little quicker hitting, shorter episodes this semester. So let us know what you want to do on that. But for goodness sake, stop losing weight and start gaining life. That's what we want to see. Gaining life, not just losing and taking things away. We want to add value to our lives, not feeling miserable all the time because we're missing out on something. When I was a youth minister, one of the key questions we were always asked by kids especially if the kids are in a dating age, is how far is too far? So when you're dating, again, how far is too far? What's the line? And so when you think about that, I feel like a lot of our health is asking the wrong question. What can I get away with is the question we're asking, rather than, hey, what's the best and absolute way to life and the way to fullness of life? Well, that's exactly what we need to be asking. What are the ways to thrive and to flourish and to be alive versus, hey, I want to be as close to death as possible but still having fun. That's not what we want for our lives. If we think about anyone's life, you think about your kids or whoever it is, you don't want them to just be barely getting along and getting as close to the edge as possible to avoid absolute danger. Now you want to be like thriving, leading the way. And so as you think about that, don't just lose weight, but gain life. Add life. And as you add life, you're going to lead at least 2 other people along with you towards life. It's a great and wonderful thing to be living fully alive. So I tell you this, we're made to be fully alive, to worship the living and true God. If you've got questions about Christianity, about Jesus, about the Bible, if you've got questions about training in the gym, if you've got any of these issues that you're dealing with, hit us up on comments or on email, which will be linked below. And mentally, physically, relationally, and spiritually, we want to help you become fully alive, and we look forward to walking along with you in that. Remember, 2 things. 1, easy goal, you can add something to your life this week. 2, what are you going to be in the long term horizon looking forward to? And let's not let our losses prevent us from moving that direction. Let's not let our fear prevent us from going after those goals. So God bless you guys. We'll catch you later. Catch you next time on the next episode.